Paul and Andy and Dance, thank you very much indeed. Welcome then to South Wales tonight. A gorgeous day in this part of the world and some spectacle. We've got Ollie 6 against 3rd. The winners tonight will end the night in 3rd place. Two sides separated by just 2 points. And certainly I think at the beginning of the season many would have expected that Fulham would be right in the mix for automatic promotion. Less so Swansea after the turmoil over the summer, the change of manager, the loss of Ollie McBurney to Sheffield United, and also Dan James to Manchester United, and yet here they are, albeit not in great form, still in the top 6 with an opportunity to be 3rd at the end of the night. Where is the key battle for you tonight in a match between two sides who like to dominate possession?
I think most games are won and lost in the centre of midfield, you know, and we've got some beautiful footballers in there tonight. I think on top of that, absolutely vital for Swansea to get Van der Hoorn fit, and we don't know yet. I'll see. They're saying his ankle's okay. He might not have trained all week, mate, so we'll have a little look if he's running gingerly on that, but he's vital to that back four. I can't wait to see this unfold. Where I feel Coops has done brilliantly, he's managed to get Ayew back and Baston. He's got him. I felt they were going to have to leave because of their wages, but they're still here, and they've added a little bit of quality that this young group has latched onto. So they're punching far above their weight with their budget at the moment. But you know why I'm excited? I think Fulham are the dark horses. You know, there's some clear. West Brom have got the quality all round. We spoke about Bielsa staying at Leeds, and I watch out for Fulham. You know, what a great game for us tonight, mate. Honestly, I can't call it. This is massive in both these club seasons, I feel.
Well, absolutely. If Fulham were to lose, then they could end the weekend 10 points adrift of West Brom at the top of the table. Win tonight, they're right back in it, and of course will do a little bit of damage to the aspirations of another side who are at the very least chasing the playoffs. We're underway. Fulham kicking from left to right in the first half in all red. Their change kit. Swansea, of course, in all white. Long ball is launched forward and picked up by Surridge, the tall blonde-haired striker who's making just his second league start of the campaign. He's signed on loan from Bournemouth, having done good things on loan at Oldham in the first half of last season down in League One. Fulham have possession, and they work it with Tim Ream out to the left-hand side, where it's played by Joe Bryan. The back for Ream again, and Ream working it through the midfield before it's played back to the goalkeeper, Marek Radak, who spent the last couple of years on loan at Rotherham. The Slovakian who's keeping Marcus Bettinelli out of the side at the moment. Here's Alfie Mawson, first contribution for the former Swansea man. It's his first match ever in opposition here at the Liberty Stadium, either before or after his very successful spell here in South Wales. He's worked it back for Radak. Plenty of early Fulham possession. As expected, they've dominated the ball more than any other team in the division this season, averaging 2/3 of the ball through every game so far in this campaign, 66% over the course of the season. At the moment, keeping easy possession, not going anywhere with it. It's back to the goalkeeper again. Now out to Dennis Adoy, who's making his 100th start for the club today. Ball through the midfield from him to Johansson to Onoma, and then Onoma will play it back to Adoy, just rotating in the midfield once more, picking up in the end room, feeding Kearney, now worked forward by Ream, and only then only does Swansea get a touch of the ball, and it goes straight out of play for a Fulham throw. The visitors dominating possession the opening couple of minutes here on TalkSport and TalkSport 2, still 0-0.
Nothing we didn't expect, Jim. You know, I think that they're getting their own identity that Scott Parker wants them to do. You know, obviously they were probably overplaying it at certain times in games. They need to turn it into what they do at the other end of the pitch, because at the moment they haven't come out of their half yet, although they've had probably 70 passes so far, and Swansea none.
Well, they have the ball again. Do Fulham right in front of us. Dennis Adoy, the right back, wearing 4. He throws it forward over halfway. Mitrovic spins, lets it run. Cavallero helps it on to Camera on the right-hand touchline. Fulham getting the bodies forward this time with Onoma. Good footing, gets it away from him. It was Matt Grimes that did it, but Fulham pick it up again in the midfield, winning all the seconds at the moment. Kearney chipping one forward. It was an excellent run down the left-hand touchline by Joe Bryan. Cavallero able to pick it up for Fulham, who started with a swagger and real confidence. 15 yards outside the penalty area. They have possession again. We're back now inside the centre circle for Mawson. His ball forward towards the edge of the box, not held up by Mitrovic, and now Swansea can bring it away, and here's Surridge. What an excellently timed run, bent it superbly, makes his way inside the penalty area, not too much in the way of support, had to try and turn inside. It's a poor clearance, which just gives Ayew an opportunity to make something happen. Now Grimes works it wide, and Swansea recycle it. High ball inside the penalty area, blocked by Bryan. Swansea fans on the far side thought it was a hand or an arm, and the referee Simon Hooper agrees. Free kick to Fulham, to Swansea, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, that was looked like a dangerous cross, and Joe Bryan tried to make himself bigger, and you can't do that these days. Very interesting though. Mawson's come forward, got a little bit of stick from the crowd, tried to force a pass into Mitrovic, and then there was a counter-attack on, which might be Swansea's best option this evening if Fulham are going to pass the ball like they've done.
Well, it was a superb run from Surridge, who has made his way forward now. He's one of 5 inside the penalty area, wearing white here, preparing to attack this in-swinging delivery. It's clipped in and was actually worked short before being fired in. Because of that, it just gave Cavallero the opportunity to sprint out of the wall and effect a block. And those that have made their way forward did in vain. But still, Swansea will try and bring it forward with George Byers down the right-hand side. It's won back, though, by Joe Bryan. Clearance from him, brought down superbly on the right-hand side of the penalty area by Grimes. His ball inside the penalty area, deflected away. Rodak didn't know whether to come out or not. Adoy then knocks it back to him. He's was just leaning backwards there. Wasn't expecting Adoy to turn and lay it back to the goalkeeper, but he did get it away. The lines of communication are a little bit muddied there at the back for Fulham, but they survive it. We've played 5 minutes, and it is 0-0 between Swansea and Fulham here on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Jim Bradford and Ian Holloway talking through the action from South Wales tonight. Swansea fans thought that there should have been a free kick, nothing given. Camara works a long diagonal forward. It goes over the head of everybody, including Cavallero, who was chasing. And it's knocked away at the back by Roberts for Swansea into the feet of Ayew. Ayew bustling, doing well to maintain possession and ride the challenges, and now he can bring it away.
Brilliant play from your centre forward there, who's playing on the right-hand side. Joe Bryan was flashing it in the back of him, and he managed to hold it up, keep the ball for his team, and keep the move going for Swansea.
And now Roberts will make his way forward, beautifully found by Grimes.
What a pass, Jim.
50-yard diagonal ball. Never went more than 3.5-4 feet above the ground. It was a perfect delivery.
It's a driller, that was. What a pass.
And Swansea will try and work it forward again. Recycled by Fulton, back out towards the right flank. Ayew on the edge of the area, trying to improvise, and Surridge somehow hasn't been able to force it over the line.
What a save, Jim. What a save that is.
And then Norton flashes one in, and that one's well saved as well by Rodak, diving away to his left-hand side. But Surridge was only 3 yards out, and Rodak has kept his clean sheet intact quite superbly.
Well, I've got to give Ayew the quality of that cross with the outside of his left foot. How the young fella didn't score. It's just down to the goalkeeper. That is Rodak. What a save. Absolutely. That's Gordon Banks-esque, mate. That is fantastic save.
Stunning stop by Marek Rodak. First corner of the night from Swansea, an in-swing, and that's much more routine for the goalkeeper.
Wow. I bet West Ham wish they had him, mate.
It was a stunning stop.
Have you seen one better than that? I don't think I can't put enough on it. He was 2 yards out, he's coming in on it, he's going to volley it with his left foot, and somehow the goalie read it. Well, just genius. That's what they get paid for, mate.
The only one I could put up against it was actually earlier this week, Jesper Cillessen making a stunning stop for Valencia against Chelsea in the Champions League, throwing himself back off balance and somehow getting fingers to help an effort over the bar. But in terms of reaction stops, that was
I thought it was a goal. Everybody was up. They thought it was in. You know, I can't emphasise that enough. That was something else. Well done, young fella, and well done, goalie coach.
Absolutely.
You got. I love goalie coaches, mate. They brilliant. They are.
Ball out towards the right-hand side. Camera chasing. And there it goes out of play. And it will be a goal kick which will be taken by Freddie Woodman, right to the right-hand side. And Freddie Woodman, of course, a member of the England side that won the Under-20 World Cup back in 2017, and now working here under the auspices of Martin Margetson, who is from this part of the world, just down the road in Port Talbot, but also England's full senior international goalkeeping coach, as well as doubling up here at Swansea City. Woodman in good hands.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Well, as a free kick's been given against Cavallero, who was trying to stop the ball being shepherded over the line out of play for a goal kick, and the referee judged that he was just a little shove in the back as he won possession back.
Didn't look a lot wrong with that. I mean, I just think Van der Hoorn underestimated how quick Cavallero is. I mean, I can't believe he's here in this division. I think he's a brilliant player, absolutely brilliant player. And Wolves, wow, what a squad they must have if they've loaned him out.
Well, Fulham's occasional forward three. There's no Knockout tonight. He's on the bench, but Knockout and Cavallero and Mitrovic all won promotion from this division the last time they were in it. Cavallero, of course, with Wolves a couple of years ago. Here's Mike van der Hoorn down towards Carl Norton, playing at left back tonight as he makes his 150th league appearance for Swansea. Back for the big Dutchman, the heart of the defence, carrying this ankle injury, but making 69th successive league start tonight for Swansea, Mike van der Hoorn.
69th, is it? I thought it was 65th.
60-something.
60, close. No, you might be right. I think I got that wrong, Jim. I'm not gonna argue with your notes, mate. I've never seen as many notes in my life.
Well,
you must have been up months doing that.
Yeah, it looks a lot more impressive than it is. Here's Dennis Adoy on the right-hand side, who will pick it up for Fulham. It's 0-0. We played 9 minutes. And it'll be laid down towards Onoma on the right-hand touchline for Fulham. In all red, kicking from left to right. Adoy wins another throw. You're listening to Swansea against Fulham in the Championship on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 with Screwfix's Ticket Tuesdays. Enter the draw every Tuesday between 8 and 6 to win tickets to see your local EFL team. Visit EFL.com/Screwfix competitions and T&Cs apply. Another free kick taken by Fulham from Johansson.
Do you know, because you just mentioned him, I couldn't believe he already played in the Premier League, but I loved him. He was so good when they didn't lose in the second half of that season. They got promoted. It was unbelievable. They had McDonald, him and Kearney. You couldn't get the ball off them.
Fulham hoping to make it back-to-back promotions in terms of attempts to get out of the Championship. Coming into this one on the back of 3 straight wins, having beaten Birmingham away and then victories at home to Queen's Park Rangers and Derby as well. Swansea, on the other hand, struggling for home form. One of the factors that could well be prevalent tonight. They've lost 4 of the last 6 games here at the Liberty Stadium. 0-0 score, 10.5 gone. Dennis Adoy picking it up in the midfield. One back on the left by Fulham, an opportunity to try and bring the ball forward. Dennis Adoy's got it and lays it back once more for Ream, and now played out to the left-hand touchline again for Joe Bryan. Bryan beaten by the sliding challenge of Ayew, who's claiming that it's taken a deflection. The ball's gone out of play for a throw, which will be taken by Fulham and not by Swansea, as Ayew claimed. 11 gone, 0-0.
Jim, that bloke in front of you, 2 seats in front of you, 2 rows in front of you, told you to shut up then. He'd want to listen to the game. If we did that, there's no radio tonight. Leave it out, mate.
Absolutely. Come and try and earn a living on a Friday night.
What's he like? I can't believe it.
Here's Mawson playing it towards Dennis Adoy. Adoy will be able to bring it forward again for Fulham down the right-hand touchline. Laid back by Camera. And another firm challenge comes in. And it's a free kick which will be taken by Fulham about 5 yards in from the right-hand touchline and 15 outside the penalty area.
I got to say, some games I wouldn't want to be the ball, where it gets booted everywhere, mate. Tonight, everybody's caressing it. It's beautiful, isn't it? Everybody is really trying to pass it and move past it and move some of the touch. Some of these players should still be in the Premier League, I think.
2 teams who pride themselves on the short passing game.
Absolutely. It's the movement that enables the pass. It's the brain that they've all got. It's fantastic to watch.
So this Fulham free kick will be taken by Kearney. He came to meet it first time. There was plenty of movement. He didn't touch the ball. And then when it's swept in, it comes from Cavallero at a different angle. And Swansea are able to clear it easily. 0-0 the scoreline, 12 minutes gone. Johansson chipping one over the top. Mitrovic will chase and will be able to bring it down on the left-hand side of the area, but he's judged just to have pulled back Connor Robertson. It's a free kick which Swansea will take inside their own box and work it quickly out towards Fulton. Fulton to Ayew. And then played forward again by Roberts towards halfway. Ball bounces in front of Surridge. A little cushion header from him back through the midfield. Now it goes back for Van der Hoorn. who's 15 yards outside his own penalty area in a central position. He turns, he's under pressure from Onoma, and he lays it back to his goalkeeper, and Woodman will be able to get it clear. A high ball forward from him, headed down by American international Ream into the midfield, and Johansson lays it back for his goalkeeper again, Radak, whose fantastic save from Surridge has kept this at 0-0 in the early stages. Swansea did the double over Fulham in their last season at the same level, which was in the Premier League back in the 2013-14 campaign. And they've had the better opportunity so far tonight, and they've got a free kick here in a dangerous area as Grimes tried to make his way through. Onoma knew the danger of letting him get past and was forced to bring him down. It's a free kick to Swansea, won by their captain, just a couple of yards in from the left-hand touchline.
Well, that's what you want. It's not just about how lovely you caress the ball and pass it and move. It's also about getting your body in the right position. Grimes, he did brilliantly there. He won a ball he shouldn't have done, really, and that's a dying art these days, Jim. Well done, young fella.
And he stands over this free kick, both hands above his head, 3 steps towards it, in swinging delivery into a very dangerous area, headed away on the edge of the 6-yard box initially by Mawson, helped clear then by Cavallero. And Carl Norton's got all the time to run round it and lay it back for his goalkeeper inside the penalty area. And Woodman will take a touch and then get it away. Cavallero coming and putting the pressure on him, but he was still able to get it away easily. Long ball forward, looking for Surridge. Brought down in the midfield by Fulton. Played out towards EU on the right-hand touchline. And his long, lofted ball out to the left-hand side for Peterson will be brought down by the Swedish international. He'll run inside the area, right-footed effort. It just went between the legs of Adoy, but that took the pace off it. And the Fulham defender was able to effect the block and then get it away. Then Van der Horn put under pressure by the pass from Grimes, didn't get enough contact on it that he wanted, and it ends up back in the hands of Woodman away to our right hand side. 15 minutes gone here on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. It's 0-0. These are the thoughts of Ian Holloway.
I think IU's done so well. He was so out in the cold, you wouldn't believe it. He was out on loan. They wanted to get rid of him, and all he said when he came back, I will do what I can. He's been excellent so far.
And he got himself into a good position there to attack across from Roberts, which was cleared. Back in again, and this time it's punched away by Radak towards the edge of the penalty area, and then Fulham are in there strongly just to knock it further clear with Onoma. Back for Van der Horn. All that early Fulham possession, probably best part of 80% of the ball in the opening 5 minutes, but it's been a much more even contest since. Now as Fulham work it down the left-hand touchline, Mitrovic will chase. Van der Horn had enough of a head start, he could shepherd it over the line. And out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the right-hand side. 16 gone, 0-0.
It just goes to show that the Championship is probably the best, most balanced competition I've ever seen it. And Swansea have grown into this game already. There's 2 good sides here, Jim. I know we said that, but you know, they both want to play. They both got quite high quality players, and I'm glad I'm not a bookie, because I would have no idea which way this is going to go.
A difficult one to judge. And the league table speaks volumes in that regard. Remember, a win for Swansea tonight, and they go a point clear, and they'll have it in their possession here. Brilliant shot coming in from the edge of the area from George Byers. It's just kissed the outside of the post on its way past for a goal kick. But it came after another Fulham defensive error. A poor clearance, just falling for Byers. It sat up very nicely for him after the bounce, and he's put his right foot through it from 22 yards out, beaten the goalkeeper, but hit the post.
How unlucky is that? That's the ball's running away from him. It's very difficult to get up to it and keep it down. He's done so well there. And it hit the wrong side of the post for Swansea.
Van der Horn engaged in his battle with Mitrovic again, wins the latest instalment of it, and a free kick. A crucial part of this game potentially. The big Dutchman up against a prolific Serbian international who scored 14 goals in his last 12 games for club and country, but haven't really been able to feed him so far tonight. He's their leading goal scorer and leading scorer in the division with 13 so far.
I quite like this Surridge lad. The first time I've seen him, Jim. Big tall fella. He looks very much like Ollie McBurney, but you know, the kid's got some real good quality touches around him, and they can pass it and keep you close, and then they can go long to him. And their best chances so far have come off of being able to hit him and get around him. So you got to be able to do all sorts of things in this modern day game. Yeah. And never ever, there was no such thing as a short ball or a long ball, mate. There's always the right ball. Don't forget that, Jim.
I won't. He's tall. Sam Surridge, 6'3", something like that. Shock of blonde hair. A very upright running style. He's had the best opportunity of the night so far, which Radak produced a world-class save to thwart him. He's got a good record as well, Surridge, since being here. He's not had too many opportunities from the start in games. He's started 4 games, but come off the bench in plenty. He's got 5 goals since he signed on loan from Bournemouth. He came off the bench to score a 90th minute winner, an important goal at Wigan 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I really like him. They're a dying breed, that sort of number 9 that can run the line. He's about a foot and a half shorter than Tammy Abraham, but it's that sort of style he's got.
Most people are. Here's Peterson running towards the edge of the area and lets fly from distance, a right-footed effort that didn't quite dip in time. Radak maybe had that covered. And it goes over the bar and out of play for a goal kick, but all the attempts coming away to our left-hand side from Swansea City. Yeah,
Fulham have got to get a grip of this midfield area. It's going up to the centre forward, dropping back, and Swansea's number 10, although he's got number 28 on him, the player who plays in the number 10 is getting a little bit of too easy. Someone's got to designate, you sit on him, you make sure you get him, and really that should be Johansson by the look of it.
Odoi playing it out towards Camara on the right hand side, back for Dennis Odoi again, and now to Alfie Mawson, 15 yards outside the penalty area, his own penalty area that is. Work for Tom Kearney to Ream. And Ream, who made his 150th league appearance for Fulham earlier in the week in the comprehensive victory against the poor Derby side at Craven Cottage on Tuesday night. Now Onoma, down towards Odoi. Odoi coming in off the right-hand touchline, lays it back inside his own half, and it'll be brought down by Kearney. Kearney and Johansson exchanging passes. Now it's Ream, able to bring the ball forward. He plays it into the feet of Caballero. And Caballero will come in off the left-hand touchline, just put under a bit of pressure from Ayew. Lays it back inside his own half of the centre circle for Mawson. Mawson to Johansson. Johansson to Dennis Odoi. Odoi's ball forward through the midfield for Kearney. Neat passing triangles from Fulham. Again, they're not really making any progress upfield. It's often going from left to right. As it's laid back for Mawson quickly. Surridge is in there to apply the press, and all Mawson can do is put it out of play for a throw, which Peterson thought about taking quickly, knowing that Surridge just had the run on Mawson, but in the end they wait for Norton to come forward and they will restart play midway inside the Fulham half. But that was excellent play from Surridge, defending from the front.
Well, Johansson was fuming at Odoi. He should have come up level with him and gone past him. He should have taken... They were keeping the ball so nicely. They needed a runner. That's where they've missed Fredericks, who ended up going to West Ham. He was sensational for him 3 years ago.
Caballero is cropping up on the right-hand side this time for Fulham and receiving possession. He's got Camara just making his way up the touchline for him. It's laid back towards Onoma. Onoma's ball, not what was intended. He had Kearney waiting, but it was knocked away easily by Ayew and then brought back under control in the midfield by Kearney. Ayew, and he gets back to his feet, gives a verbal volley to Simon Hooper. He thought that it should have been a free kick, but play goes on.
He wasn't happy there, Jim, was he?
That's putting it mildly. He told him what he thought. The ball goes out to the left-hand side. Mitrovic is waiting in the middle. Caballero at the far post if Fulham can get it across. Camara just exchanging passes with Onoma. And back for Camara again. And now he can turn and run towards the edge of the penalty area, into the feet of Onoma. There's still a very patient, almost conservative build-up here from Fulham. Now they work it wide to the left-hand touchline. Camara off the underside of the bar and headed in off the rebound by Mitrovic. First blood to Fulham, largely against the run of play midway through the first half. But it's Mitrovic on target again. Swansea 0, Fulham 1.
I have to say, this is ominous. This looks like Fulham of 3 years ago, Jim. You could say it's casual, they're popping it around. They've all got a great football brain. They're popping it around, moving you around. They get in behind, and then before you know it, there's a cross comes in. Fantastic cross, skids off the surface, hits the bar, comes back, and there's the man, Mitrovic, on the end of it. 1-0, and you're quite right. Swansea were slightly on top at that time.
14th goal in 18 games this season for Fulham. His record in this division for Fulham is quite exceptional.
Remarkable, yeah.
26 in 35 games of Championship football for Fulham. And he's struck first again tonight.
Remarkable. I love him. I think he's underrated, you know. One of the big clubs could have took him. I think he's good enough for that, you know. He's obviously a little bit temperamental at times, you know, and Jokanovic really helped him over that, but I'm sure Fulham fans and Scott Parker absolutely love him. That was a great goal, Jim, you know. For all the thing we talk about passing and moving, that's what it was all about. You couldn't get the ball off him, could you?
But worth pointing out that that came after that little concerto outside the penalty area when he went down and he thought that he was fouled. Swansea didn't get another kick at the ball before they were taking the kick-off. 1-0 to Fulham. Mitrovic the man on target. They've got such a good record as well in games when they've scored first. We go back to last February for the last time that they went 1-0 up and lost, which was a game against West Ham. Swansea, on the other hand, this season have gained 10 points from losing positions. A long way to go. The goal coming just before the midway stage of the first half. Scored by Mitrovic, made by Camera. 1-0. Fulham leading here on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
I have to say that how calm they are on the ball. That they must practice passing and moving all day, every day. And you know, I'm a huge admirer of that. That's what the game's about, and they do it. They make it look so easy, Jim. Do you know what I mean? It's whether they'll be defensively strong enough. Without a shadow of a doubt, at the moment, they are looking pure silk with the ball. Beautiful it is.
The Fulham fans away to our left-hand side who've come down in. There was about 300 or 400 of them, I guess, have made the long journey down the M4 this afternoon, which is often a troubled affair on a Friday.
Well done to them, mate. It was a bit blocked, the old M4.
They're delighted with what they've seen so far. Norton playing it forward for Swansea and trying to get themselves back into the game. And they have a free kick to Fulham, which Johansson will come
across. Is it my eyes,
tape.
or has he got odd boots on there? Fulham 4. Or is that...
I think that's called fashion.
Is that what it is? Has he got another pair like that at home?
Yeah, just the other way round.
Yeah, he's gone wrong.
Cavallero plays the ball inside the penalty area. Swansea can clear. What he's got, Dennis Adoy, is... Well, one is yellow. His left boot is solid yellow. His other one's pink and black. And he makes his way forward here. Right-footed curved ball inside the area, brought down by Mitrovic, takes a second touch. Then when the shot comes in, it's well blocked, and Swansea will be able to bring it away on the counter-attack, working with Byers through the midfield. Almost wanted too long. He was caught by Kearney. Referees played the advantage, and he goes for Peterson back for Grimes working it forward through the midfield. Played by Fulton. Surridge playing on the shoulder of Adoy, trying to turn and get in past him, but couldn't quite. Byers continues to put the pressure on. Kearney's withstood that pressure, and Fulham work it out to Bryan on the left flank, and he will go back for Ream, and now Fulham back in a confident and competent position again in the midfield with Johansson, leading 1-0 with the goal on 22 minutes from Mitrovic. Onuma playing it down to the Fulham right-hand side for Camera. Camera's ball through the midfield. Cavallero giving chase, and he's done well to win it back. He was cynically hauled to the ground there by Grimes, and it's a free kick which will be taken, and it'll be a yellow card, will it, for Grimes? The referee did reach for the spray rather than the yellow card, but he certainly wasn't going to let him get past. He wrestled him to the ground.
No, he got away with that one, Jim. But I like the way that the Fulham strikers, we've spoke about it, you know. Camera's amazing, because the other day he played up the middle, and he's quite happy on the right or the left, and you know, Cavallero just come all the way over. They link him fantastically well. I just love the confidence they seem to have, Jim. It's almost oozing on arrogance, isn't it? Almost bordering on it, but they're knocking it around with aplomb at the moment.
They've certainly hit their rhythm over the last fortnight or so. Chance to double their lead here with this Joe Bryan free kick, swept in, easily headed away by Surridge, and then helped further on by Grimes, but picked up again by Fulham in the midfield. Ream's got him inside the centre circle. Back from him to Kearney. Hasn't taken up too many advanced positions so far tonight, Tom Kearney. Reams stops the ball and allows Johansson just to take it off his toes and get Fulham going again with Mawson back for Adoy. Adoy under pressure, and Johansson lays it back to his goalkeeper once more. 27 gone. 1-0 Fulham lead, but they lead not just courtesy of that Mitrovic goal, but also courtesy of that sensational early stop from Radak to deny Surridge the opening goal of the game for Swansea. Another free kick is given, this one against George Byers in the midfield. Byers the only player, incidentally, starting tonight who will miss next week's game through suspension if he's booked tonight. If you get 5 yellow cards inside your first 19 games, then you do get a 1-match suspension. And this is game number 19 for these two. So he's got a bit of breathing space again if he avoids a yellow card tonight. But if he is cautioned, he misses the trip to West Brom. The big game's coming thick and fast for Swansea at the moment. Fulham leading this one with Kearney leading back to Adoy. Adoy's midway inside his own half as he goes back for Mawson. Mawson under pressure again from Surridge. Obviously something that has been talked about, the intensity of the press when he goes back to Mawson. And then Adoy was fouled, got back to his feet with a little scorpion kick, flicking the ball up in the air. He's caught by Peterson. It's a free kick which Fulham will take her in. No real hurry to take it either. You are listening to Swansea against Fulham in the Championship on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 with Screwfix's Ticket Tuesdays. Enter the draw every Tuesday between 8 and 6 to win tickets to see your local EFL team. Visit EFL.com/Screwfix competitions and T's and C's apply. Swansea winning it back again in the midfield. Van der Horn goes back to his goalkeeper. He's played back to the goalkeeper again for Woodman. And now it'll come down towards Norton. And Norton plays it to his right-hand side as it's worked back through the midfield. Adoy was in there to win it back, and then Peterson couldn't put a block challenge in time to regain possession. Forward they come. Camera. Back to Kearney. Kearney trying to get away from Fulton. Just turns inside. Rides the challenge. Lays it back for Tim Ream. Ream is 15 yards inside his own half. Surridge is again coming across to put the pressure on. Fulham happy to work it some 40 yards back to their goalkeeper. And Radak will play it out. And Surridge then, again, quickly there to close down Mawson, but the former Swansea man able to get it away from the current one. Launch forward, Caballero flicking it on. Van der Horn leaves it for goalkeeper Woodman to come and clear. Byers can't quite control it in midfield. And then it's headed out towards the left-hand side for Joe Bryan. Bryan's ball forward. Cut out by Camera, who's fouled. Free kick, which will be taken by Fulham about 12 yards or so inside their own half. And again, Swansea players not happy at the decision from referee Hooper.
No, I think he's right. I think Swansea again a little bit frustrated that their front six, they got the back four in. The midfield need to sort with the forwards. They need to get closer as a group to wherever they've got the ball, because at the moment the pattern that Fulham are creating all around the ball, they're outnumbering them. You know, you've got to take a little bit of a gamble. You've got to get across. Surridge has got to realise that they might nick one there, Jim, but they've got to stop this relentless Fulham passing, because they're going to get through them eventually if they carry on like this.
Ayew is able to bring it away, and the camera came back and just stuck an arm across his body to impede his progress. And that's a free kick which will be taken by Swansea, and a yellow card as well for Camera. And Scott Parker far from happy. I think potentially thinking back to the Grimes one at the other end. I think there's a little bit of inconsistency there.
I agree with them. They got away with one for the goal though, didn't they? In fairness on Ayew, that looked a foul as well. So well done, ref. I don't think he's having a bad one.
Not at all. Simon Hooper, the man taking charge today. The first game here at the Liberty Stadium for more than 7 years for him. Here's Van der Horn to Norton. Out to the left-hand touchline again for Swansea with Peterson, who he's worked it really cleverly past the door. He finds Byers. Byers is 3 yards in from the left-hand touchline. 10 yards outside the box. 3 Fulham players converge on him in their red, and they're able to bring it away. Kearney, though, just showed too much of it to Grimes, who wins it back, and Van der Horn then works it down towards the left-hand side again for Peterson. Peterson to Norton, and then back for Peterson again. He's ridden the challenge of Adoy. Well done, shown inside by Mawson. Still he goes, bustling his way through, and eventually he's brought Mawson down in the eyes of the referee. And it's a free kick which will be taken by Fulham inside their own penalty area. 12 to go to the break, and Fulham still lead courtesy of that Mitrovic goal, 1-0.
That's what Fulham are doing. They're just getting around the ball, getting more bodies around the ball with in possession and out of possession, and Swansea got to realise that. Even now, Jim, Peterson's got to go and get a little bit closer to to his midfield. Ayu's doing it brilliantly his side, but not quite this side.
And the intensity of the press forced Kearney off balance to go back to his goalkeeper. Radak was able to clear.
It's exactly what they need to do, because Fulham are looking too calm and got too much time at the moment. Again, right now they got to get closer and get tighter.
And it's strange that the intensity of the press from Surridge and from Ayew and from Byers to a certain extent just isn't matched up by Peterson, whose starting position is maybe 4 or 5 yards adrift of the others. Fulham are able to bring it forward with Bryan. The Londoners leading 1-0. Mitrovic towards the edge of the penalty area, right-footed. A bit of improvisation, trying to skewer a pass through inside the penalty area. Rolls innocuously down past the corner flag and out of play. It's a goal kick which will be taken away to the right-hand side by Freddie Woodman. 1-0 to Fulham.
Welcome to a coach's world, Jim. You know, most wide lads like Peterson, they want the ball, they want to play. You've got to teach him how he's got to be part of that defensive unit. And 5 yards is far too far. Do you know what I mean? He'll get it, but he needs to go and join in without the ball to win it back. You've got to outnumber people and leave your man. It don't matter he's in space if the ball's a team like Fulham, they will keep passing all day long, and you'll feel like you're hopeless out there. You can't get near them, so you've got to give up your space, go and help your teammate out.
Well, they broke the championship record earlier this season for the number of passes in a game. They took on Millwall. I can't remember the exact figure. It was knocking 900, something like that. Pass every 6 seconds throughout the course of the game.
Well, that's great, because you'll know what their stats are. So what you need to do is narrow off, leave the space behind you, and if they get out, you can. Well done. They're good. Well done. They did. But really, you know what they're going to do. So it's about becoming that unit. A defensive unit up front, and everybody does it these days.
Here's Surridge making his way forward for Swansea. Pulled it back. It's an excellent save again by Radak, but Byers will be frustrated that as he ran onto it inside the penalty area and stuck his right instep through it, that he couldn't divert it wider of the goalkeeper. Radak dives to his left, tips it away, and it's out for another corner.
For all of that, all the possession, they've had the two best chances, haven't they? And they're one down. That goalkeeper, Radak, he's earning his corn today.
Well, the corner will be taken. It's Swansea's second over on the right-hand touchline.
I wonder if he gets a bonus for a clean sheet. It looks like it.
Well, he deserves it.
Doesn't he ever?
Paid up at half-time. 6 in the penalty area, waiting to attack this second Swansea corner of the night. Fulham lead at 1-0. Left-footed in-swinging delivery. Headed away by Adoy. Back out to the right-hand touchline again. A higher ball inside the penalty area, attacked by Surridge. And Fulham again survive, knock it clear. Norton does well acrobatically, flicking it over his own shoulder with the overhead, and Swansea work it forward again. Surridge on the right hand side of the penalty area with a low cross that's blocked by Bryan, but it's recycled effectively. Grimes with an effort, and it's caught by the goalkeeper. I don't know whether it took a deflection on its way through that just took the pace out of it, but Radak was able to make the save.
I think it did. I think Johansson just got his body in the way. Just got his body in the way of it. It's so finely balanced, isn't it? So finely balanced, but wow. I really like this keeper.
Signs of promise as far as Swansea are concerned, but Radak at the moment in their way. Swansea have only scored 3 goals in the last 6 games here. They've taken only 4 points from those 6 games, beaten already on home turf by Forest and Stoke, Brentford and Millwall, and trailing to Fulham, but Ayew can bring it forward and work it out towards the right hand side for Roberts on the overlap. Good ball towards the edge of the area for Byers, and Onomah did really well to come back and just did enough on the edge of the area to stop him getting an effective shot in. And the defenders did the rest to clear, and they've got it forward for Cavallero. Fulham still inside their own half, but not for long. Kearney working it down to Camera, coming in off the right flank, finding Onomah again, who's getting through a real shift. Back from Adoy to Johansson to Mawson.
That's what midfielders should do, mate. It's not just one way, you got to do both ways. And how vital was that foot in there, Jim? Fantastic cross. Looked like he was going to smack it. And get back in your position. Well done, Onomah.
Covered a lot of ground and got there in the nick of time from a Fulham perspective. Swansea will certainly feel as though they deserve to be on level terms before half-time. And
a goalie did a Cruyff turn, I can't believe it.
It was Radak getting it away from Surridge.
He's man of the match so far. Hey, Jim, not only made 2 great saves, but he's done a Cruyff turn. I'm going to rename it the Redact turn.
Johan's turning in his grave as we speak.
You want to be calm. You want your players to be calm, but that's a little bit near the knuckle, you know. God, dearie me. What are you doing?
Certainly exuding confidence after the quality of saves that he's made. And
I'm not even his manager, and I lost a hair again there. Another hair has fallen out. Don't panic.
7 to go to half-time. Here on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Swansea 0, Fulham 1, and Surridge is pushing the back by Ream. It's a free kick on halfway.
You try and never look nervous as a manager. You want to look. You don't want your team to look over and see you nervous. But God alive, hey, you're getting closed down like that. What is going on?
Swansea will bring it forward towards halfway.
There is a time to put it in the stand, Jim. That should have been one of them.
Well, he got away with it. Also, as he turned back towards his own goal inside the 6-yard box, but Surridge didn't read it.
I swear, that's too big a risk for me. Honestly, he had an easy chance to clear it.
This time he does put his foot through it and looks for Mitrovic inside the centre circle. Swansea win it back. Back he goes for Van der Horn to Norton. 6 to go to half-time. Swansea 0, Fulham 1. Peterson bringing it forward.
Go on, son.
Peterson riding the challenge of Adoy, then it's laid round the corner, and Byers has got time, gets to the byline, chips it back in. Ayew with an acrobatic left-footed effort, did well to get it on target, but Redact again can dive to his right and make a much more comfortable save this time.
Yeah, it's a lovely move, really lovely move. They do play some lovely patterns. They got it in, great ball in the box. Right back got in there. Ayew was in there, who's the right winger, so they really are trying as hard as they can. They look a good side as well, but at the moment Fulham have their keeper to thank for being in front.
And they make it their way forward again. It was an excellent run from Cavallero, and Brian frustrated he couldn't pick him out as he just tried to feather one into his path. He's made the run down the inside left channel, but he overhit it. Cavallero getting round the back of the Swansea back line.
That would have been a good chance then, Jimmy. That's unlike Brian. He's a great player from my neck of the woods. Bristolian, Bristol City created him and made him, and he's moved on, but that would Cavallero was in then if he just took a little bit of weight off it. He's got a wonderful left foot as well. Very surprised at that. Been amazing, you know, what we've said about the game, and it's been so finely balanced, and really, is the score a fair one at the minute? Well, you'd have to say thanks to the goalkeeper it is, you know, but I think Swansea look a real good team as well.
Certainly one of the stiffer examinations for Fulham in the recent past, but they lead 1-0 at the moment. Mitrovic, the goal scorer, showing his predatory instincts, and he's found Camera here. Right-footed effort is really well blocked by Peterson as it was flashed towards goal from Cavallero. Peterson threw himself into the line of fire, and then likewise Grimes gets in the way of a more speculative longer range effort which comes in from Johansson, and that one ricochets out of play for a throw which will be taken over on the Fulham left hand side by Joe Bryan. 3.5 to go to half time. It's not going to be too much time to be added on either. Swansea 0, Fulham 1 it remains, as it's been for the last 20 minutes. Mitrovic laying it back through the midfield again. Ream with a little cushioned touch. On the edge of the centre circle, Mawson can bring it forward. Mawson to Dennis Adoy. And back for Alfie Mawson again. He takes a couple of touches and then flights it forward. Cavallero trying to guide it on in towards Mitrovic, who turns away and can't hide his dismay. Norton working it down the left-hand touchline for Peterson ahead of him, and he's given it away. Onomah sliding in, and Scott there, he's cut it back. It's 3 against 2 for a moment. Cavallero, Onomah's missed it. Mitrovic surely won't. It's 2-0 to Fulham. 3 minutes from half-time. And this time Swansea are architects of their own downfall, giving the ball away. And once more Mitrovic in the right place at the right time. Onomah couldn't finish it. Mitrovic can. Swansea 0, Fulham 2.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about, Jim. Swansea, without the ball, aren't as good as Fulham without the ball. This is what I'm trying to say. They knew Swansea, as it went into Pedersen, they knew he was going to take a touch, try and go backwards, and their whole midfield came over, outnumbered them, got a foot in. They forced that mistake. This is what I was trying to say that Pedersen's got to do with his other mates up front. He's got to go and squeeze across. Fulham, right there, a little bit older team, a little bit more experienced team. They've just turned this game on its head now, just out of closing and pressing together. Fantastic. That wasn't really a mistake, that was forced, and a forced error. Brilliant.
Well, Oliver did really well to initially win possession back, and then had a part to play further upfield as well. And that's now, bearing in mind we're still in November, the 24th goal of Mitrovic's season for club and country.
What a player. I mean, he made that look easy, didn't he? But that's top quality. It's a long way back for him now. I'm not saying they won't get back, I'm just saying this is a long, long way. With Fulham, who pass the ball like they do, you need one before half-time, Jim.
Pedersen on the left-hand side of the area trying to provide it, and Radak's made a comfortable save, got his hands behind it, beat it into the ground, and collapses onto the ball. We're going to the final minute of the first half. It's not a scoreline that paints a fair reflection, really, of what we've seen. It doesn't feel like a 2-0 game, but they've just had predatory instincts, that killer instinct in front of goal, Fulham, when they've been presented with the opportunities. Mitrovic on hand, now on a hat-trick. He's already scored one this season against Luton, and will fancy his chances of getting another one here. It's a Swansea free kick for a foul on Wilmot, who's lying face down in the turf.
Is that Mitrovic as well? Yeah. He does leave something on you every now and again, as well as score. If you look at the success that Fulham have had since his signing, it is quite remarkable. You know, that was in a January window, and nothing's set in stone already. There, you just got to get to that January window, and whoever does some good business, then I might tell you who might win this division. You can't write off Fulham yet. You can't say that West Brom are definitely there and Leeds are definitely going to be there. This is such a tight competition. And people like him, how much are they worth to that? You know, he doesn't miss, mate, does he? It's unbelievable.
Well, just to underline that point, the last time that Fulham won promotion, so a couple of seasons ago, they were 9 points worse off than they are now.
Oh, there you go.
So, as we go into 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, you certainly know that they're more than capable of getting the job done from here. If they can hold on here, they'll be up to 35 points. Obviously, Leeds and West Brom ahead of them still have a game in hand, but Leeds only 2 points clear of Fulham. As things stand at the moment, and West Brom a further 2 points clear of the field on 39. Fulham up to 35 if they can hold on here. Swansea on 30 at the moment.
The last time I faced them, Jim, so we were 2-0 down just going into half-time. We managed to get a goal with Massimo Luongo, and we managed to get an equaliser, forced some errors in them because I got my team to get closer to them. Swansea really need a goal just before half-time, obviously. Go on, here we go.
Camera caught in possession. Byers has done really well. Gets the return ball from Pedersen. Tried and rolled it in towards Surridge, who went down into the area. Ayew recycles it, keeps it alive. Pedersen tries to play it in. But again, Fulham have got bodies in the right place at the right time. Kearney just took a couple of touches. Finds touch, knowing that the clock is fast running down towards half-time.
That looks like a foul to me. I don't know. No one's going mad. I'd be going mental at the ref now, trying to influence him.
Right on the edge of the penalty area. Surridge that went down, but
I swear that was a foul.
Picked himself straight back up. Here's Norton.
Even the crowd aren't going mental. What's going on with football these days? I'd be going mad at that ref.
Grimes to Pedersen. Ball in towards Ayew. Commanding header from Reen, gets it clear. Byers back in. Hits Mawson. Bobbles off his knee. High up in the air. Pedersen with a header. Returned in kind by Kearney. Mitrovic with his back to the direction of play. Trying to hold it up.
Ref, what?
Van der Horn has held him up in the eyes of the referee. Free kick Fulham.
Good gracious. I'm not going to accept it. I'm going to put a Swansea City scarf on and say, come on, ref. What is that all about?
Mitrovic chesting it down. No backing into Van der Horn that time. And Swansea are able to bring it away. Here's Kyle Norton. And Norton will take it down to the left-hand touchline. It's flicked round the corner. And that's the last touch of the first half for Surridge. Few isolated boos from the Swansea fans. I think of the referee as opposed to their team.
I think so, yeah,
who've done well despite the scoreline. Radak making a world-class save at 0-0. But Mitrovic showing his predatory instincts twice. Once after the ball came back off the bar, he headed in. And then secondly, making the most of a chance from close range. 1 on 22, 1 on 43. The half-time score, Swansea City 0, Fulham 2. Thank you, Dan. So if you look back at that first half and dig down a little bit deeper amongst the statistics, Fulham 61% of the ball. But Swansea have had 10 attempts to Fulham's 7. They've had 5 shots on target to Fulham's 3. So a sense that if they can score the next one and get themselves back into it, they might not be too far away. It's just the scoreline really that's gone against them. It's the only thing.
That's the problem. They really need to, because of the confidence that is oozing out of Fulham. You know, even at the start of the game, you got their goalie who's done a Cruyff turn. He's made 2 brilliant saves, and that's life, isn't it? You know, that was a world-class save, as we said, and that's made all the difference, you know. But really, we need a fast start. You know, as the manager earned his money now. If he's gone in there and gone a little, I'd have had a little bit of a go at him. For me, get a little bit tighter without the ball. We spoke about it, and they'll get there. You know, hopefully Coops has done that.
Well, we're back underway for the second half. Swansea in all white, and they're kicking from left to right in this second half. I'll run through the two teams for you in a moment. First long diagonal of the second half, aimed forward towards Roberts, but knocked away easily enough by the Fulham back line, and be played down by Onoma to find Kearney. And then Kearney down to his left-hand side for Joe Bryan. And Bryan will bring it forward here for Fulham. They quickly lose possession. Fulham in all red. Their change kit. And they're kicking from right to left in this second half. First free kick of the second half goes Swansea's way. They've got Woodman in goal. Roberts, Wilmot, Van der Horn and Norton. And Fulton, Grimes and Byers in midfield. They use Surridge and Peterson, the forward 3. Fulham, Radak in goal. Adoy, Mawson, Ream and Bryan. Kearney, Onoma and Johansson. Camara and Cavallero wide. And Mitrovic, the scorer of the 2 goals, playing through the middle. And Mitrovic, who has now scored 24 goals in 24 games for club and country over the course of this season. Good turn by Surridge in possession, the tall striker on loan from Bournemouth, but he can't make any headway. It's a lovely turn then. In turn by Cavallero, and the warning bells were ringing before George Byers came back and nicked it off Onoma's toes to salvage the situation for Swansea. But that's what they're so good at. They turn over possession. Fulham in that kind of area, it can be lethal. Now Swansea work it down the line. Roberts hangs his head as he couldn't get the angle right on the ball forward, which goes out of play for a goal kick. Couple of minutes gone second half, 2-0 to Fulham.
That's what I mean. They desperately need the next goal because of the age of the team and where they are in the table. If it goes to Fulham, or you know, because Roberts, simple ball at the line, it's gone wrong, and then what does he do? Drops his head, drops his shoulders. They need something out of this game, don't they? Because they're on a slightly dodgy run.
Well, if they were to lose this, it would be their 5th league defeat of the season, and all 5 of them would be here. Ooh. They are the only team in the Championship who are unbeaten away from home. In fact, I think I'm right in saying, apologies if it's wrong, I think they're the only team in League 1 or League 2 as well who are unbeaten away from home still. But they have lost 3 of the last 4 here coming into this one. The only home win in the last 7 after tonight, if it stays this way. The important one, as far as they're concerned, at home to Cardiff. Here's Kearney in possession for Fulham. 2.5 gone in the second half here on TalkSport and TalkSport 2, with Mitrovic, the scorer of both goals, laying it off here for Camara to Kearney. Onoma has drifted out to the right flank now for Fulham, with Camara playing almost in the hole behind Mitrovic. Real fluidity of movement amongst these Fulham players who are in possession again. At the back with Johansson to Mawson, who's in danger of giving it away, and having lost possession, forced to take matters into his own hands. He's conceded the free kick.
I am feeling like a Fulham fan. I know I should be unbiased. I love what they're doing tonight. I love the calmness. I love the training that I know they've done to get as good as this, and they are on the march. I tell you, they are on the march. Hopefully Swansea will make a right game of it for us, but they look so well drilled and so confident, Jim, don't they? It's unbelievable. They're oozing confidence.
Roberts to Grimes, out to the left hand side. It's whipped inside the area, didn't quite fall for a U. Knocked away again at the back by Fulham, and Onoma will play it down. Johansson had to make sure he didn't get caught in possession. They've very adeptly played their way out of trouble there. It's It looked like Johansson had gone the wrong way down a cul-de-sac, but Swansea 15-20 yards deeper do get possession back. Peterson chipping inside the area, too high for Ayew. Seconds on the edge of the penalty area, almost fell for Byers, but Ream was there to knock it away. And then Cavallero again with a clever little touch in midfield, plays around Jay Fulton to lay it down to Tom Kearney on the left. And then Bryan with the switch of play, pings one out to the Fulham right-hand side for Camara.
What a pass, Jim. How far was that? 50, 60 yards? What a ping. I love that. So hard to do as well.
On the strength of what you've seen tonight, and remember, if Fulham win this, they'll still be 4 points behind West Brom at the top of the table, with the Baggies having a game in hand. Yeah. But how would you compare Fulham to West Brom and Leeds?
I would. They're up there with them. They are. I really do feel that. Obviously, they've got to tighten up at the back. You know, they've started to come. Don't count them out. Not in any way, shape, or form. They are oozing confidence, you know, and I know I've said that a couple of times, but it's almost arrogance because they know they're not going to give it away. Look at Ream now, he's driving through it with it.
And he's made some 40, 50 yards upfield, the centre half, almost at the edge of the area as he lays it off, and then another crossfield ball. Cavallero picking out Camara, Mitrovic waiting in the middle. It's worked short instead to Cavallero, back for Camara again, now to Onuma, whose first touch took him outside the penalty area, but Adoy will recycle it for Fulham and get them going again on the right flank. Now they played in behind Kearney, and Kearney will turn and lay through the midfield for Johansson, wearing black gloves on what even for a Scandinavian is a cold night. Ball played down the touch, and not as fetching as your black gloves, it has to be said.
Mate, I'd have never worn them playing, but you know, you got to forgive me that tonight. I went to Cardiff the other Sunday, and I was freezing, mate, so
it is, Johansson would appreciate the Baltic nature of the weather here in South Wales tonight, and getting colder all the time. As Ream plays it out to the left-hand side for Bryan. Bryan's left-footed ball swerved inside the penalty area, just too high for Onuma. Camara is going to be able to keep it alive, down by Fulham's right-hand corner flag. He lays it back for Adoy, real high up and under for him, and Mitrovic attacking it, was getting involved in a wrestling match with Roberts, who dealt with him well. And then Fulham eventually, the second time of asking, could play out from the back, and Ayew turns and was caught, and he was not in a position to gain an advantage, having initially been fouled. He got back to his feet quickly, but Cavallero was very quickly there to close him down, so the referee, having waited to see if the advantage would develop, has stopped play and given Swansea a free kick.
Definite foul, Jim, but there was nothing. Mitrovic, that's just typical him. He's all over the centre half, probably fouling the centre half. That wasn't a penalty. Well done, ref.
Free kick taken, launch long for Surridge, and put straight out of play for another throw, which will be taken by Roberts on the right hand side. He's already got 16 Welsh caps to his name, part of the successful qualification campaign. Mitrovic almost able to seize upon a loose ball in the midfield, but Van der Horn was there, and now releases Norton, and Carl Norton will make his way forward. Peterson on the left hand side for him, running towards the edge of the penalty area. Adoy just stood firm and blocked it.
Brilliant defending,
didn't allow him way through.
That's brilliant defending. He didn't panic, he just read it, stepped in, and now they're on a break.
Led by Onuma. Mitrovic going through the middle. Adoy will try and find him. Not quite. Good goalkeeping from Woodman.
I like Woodman. He looks really crisp, doesn't he? Everything he does. He needed to catch that, otherwise that would have been a hat-trick.
Well, he's only conceded on average a goal a game in his Swansea career so far. Freddie Woodman, son of course of Andy Woodman, who was a close friend, is a close friend, and former teammate of Gareth Southgate at Crystal Palace. Indeed, Southgate is Freddie Woodman's godfather. Here's Ayew, coming off the right-hand touchline. Can't find a way past the Joe Bryan. Bryan just clips it forward with almost disdainful ease to find Cavallero, but Swansea are able to win it back. Brought down in the midfield by Fulton, who stumbled, got back to his feet, still in possession, and was able to turn and lay it back once more to Wilmot. Now a long left-footed crossfield ball from Grimes. It's an excellent pass. Brought down by Peterson. Chested it down into Adoy. Claims for handball from the Swansea fans over on that far side. Nothing given, and Fulham again are able to bring it away with Johansson. We played 9 minutes of the second half. It's Swansea against Fulham in the Championship on TalkSport 2 and TalkSport. with Screwfix's Ticket Tuesdays. Enter the draw every Tuesday between 8 and 6 to win tickets to see your local EFL team. Visit efl.com/Screwfix competitions, and T's and C's apply.
Watching this, you could put a fire underneath Kearney and Johansson and it wouldn't even affect them, Jim. You know, I mean, if young lads are watching this is how calm you should be. This is how you should trust your ability.
And two men have now played 300 Fulham games between them. Know each other's games so well. Johansson, of course, had a loan spell at West Brom last season. He was unable to get into the Fulham team, but the relegation has reignited his Fulham career, and he's in possession now, working it to Kearney, out towards Adoy, back for Kearney again, and Adoy in the odd boots that Ollie spotted in the first half, just lays it back for Mawson, and now Ream in the two bright yellow boots will play it forward into the feet of Cavallero. Cavallero then spins, tries to get a run at Ben Wilmot, who's shown inside towards the edge of the area. Cavallero, lovely back heel flick from him. Brian whips it in across the face of goal, and Mitrovic slid in, couldn't get the touch to complete his hat-trick, and he beats everybody and goes out to play for a goal kick.
Wow, that's a bit of play, isn't it? You know, I love Cavallero, how he feigned to go left, he drove inside, and instead of shooting, which I was expecting, he did a back heel, and Joe Bryan from Bristol gets down there, just puts a little bit much on it. I gotta say, he was the other side of town for me, Jim. And
a red rather than a blue.
He was a red rather than a blue, but I am so proud of him, mate, because normally we don't travel very well, you know, and he went to Fulham and he didn't get in at first, but I just love him. I think he's top drawer, love him a bit.
It looks like a snip at £6 million now, doesn't he?
Absolutely, absolutely. He got a wonderful left foot.
Produced a few full-backs there over the years, but of course the man that replaced him in the Bristol City side, Lloyd Kelly, has also gone for big money since.
Big money, 13 million to Bournemouth.
Swansea have it with another man that I'm sure will go for big money one day, Ben Wilmot, who's on loan here from Watford, had a spell in Serie A last season for Udinese. Here's ball forward, won back by Johansson to Onoma doing well, riding the challenge in the midfield of Fulton. It's Bryan making his way forward, outside him is Onoma on the left hand side, three red shirts in the penalty area. Swansea getting the bodies back, narrowing the angles. Fulton did well, but Cavallero will come again onto his right foot, and it's a decent save from Woodman, diving to his left hand side. Camera will pick it up, back for Mitrovic. Mitrovic drags it towards the edge of the penalty area. Cavallero again, and this time he's fired it over the bar and into the empty seats at the Fulham end of the ground. It stays 2-0 to Fulham with 12 gone in the second half.
They're well on top now, aren't they? That's the problem, you know. A little bit of a substitution coming here. I think that's well done, Coops. You need to change this a little bit. It's only going one way at the moment, I'm afraid. So, can you see that from here?
Yeah,
my eyes are gone.
It's Barry Mackay who's coming on for Christopher Peterson. Mackay, the Scotsman, hasn't featured in the league at all this season. His last league game coming back in early May. He has played in the League Cup ties, but the diminutive Scottish winger comes on straight swap for Peterson on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I could see that. Peterson looks a good player, but if you're on top, he's going to do well. They've all got to learn that other side of the game. Unfortunately, Fulham are dominating things, and his skill set might not be needed right now. So on comes the young fella, Mackay. You're trying to deal with the confidence. They're almost like a boxer who's won. I'll leave it to you, Jim. Here goes Iron.
Towards the edge of the penalty area, the referee's played a good advantage. Johansson does well. Right-footed effort comes in. It's another fine save from Radak. Dives to his left-hand side. Baez met that one really sweetly from inside the D. And Radak tips it away for another Swansea corner. Their third of the game. 3 without reply. But that was better from Swansea making their way forward.
From Swansea, yeah. Again, IU's heavily involved. Great strike again from Byers. What a save. He makes it look easy. Mind you, so do all the good goalies, don't they? Have you ever been in goal, Jim? I'm hopeless, mate. Absolutely hopeless.
I'm about 5'5", so I was all right till I was about 10. In comes the corner, flicked on at the near post and comfortably claimed away to the right-hand side. of the penalty area. It's good goalkeeping again by Radak, who's only conceded 4 goals in 6.5 games this season for Fulham. He's enhanced his burgeoning reputation again tonight. He's got the ball at his feet now, playing out from the back. Fulham. He's gone from one centre-half to the other, to Ream, and the big bearded American will be able to bring it forward and work it into the feet of the retreating Mitrovic, who had just tried to help it on for the run of Cavallero, but it was knocked away easily by the Swansea back line, and this time Mitrovic deliberately lets it run over his shoulder, knowing it's going to be a throw which will be taken by Fulham on the left-hand side. They're managing the match very effectively. 14 minutes into the second half, those 2 goals from Mitrovic, one after 20-odd minutes and the other after 40-odd, giving Fulham a 2-0 advantage. They have only lost one of the last 7 games away from home before today, which came at Stoke, the only other defeat that they've had on the road back on the opening weekend of the season. That surprise reverse at Barnsley, but they've certainly found a rhythm. They've got decent games coming up as well. Bristol City at home next, and then a couple more away matches to Preston and Brentford, but Leeds at home on the immediate horizon. Looks a mouth-watering prospect. Challenge on the edge of the penalty area, well timed by Grimes, getting away from Cavallero, but Swansea still haven't got possession back. Johansson will bring it forward. Johansson to Mitrovic. Mitrovic towards the edge of the penalty area. Back for Bryan. Bryan on the corner of the box. Johansson again. Just rolls his studs of his left boot over the top of the ball. Continues his run. Ayew trying to block the cross. It's knocked away by Van der Hoorn. Out to the edge of the penalty area for Kearney. Kearney to Adoy. Mackay wired into the challenge. Now play goes on. Didn't make any contact with Adoy, who's still got it. Now back from him to Kearney again. Kearney's hardly misplaced a pass all night. He's been brilliant.
I don't think him or Johansson have, really. And Ream's been sublime. Striding forward when there's no one picking him up. Brilliant.
And does so again here. Finds Camara, who puts a lovely shape on the ball. Not quite the height that Mitrovic wanted, but certainly in terms of the angle it was almost perfect. Van der Hoorn's there to sweep up and knock it away. Just past the hour mark on TalkSport. TalkSport 2 and it remains. Swansea 0, Fulham 2. But a throw which will be taken by Fulham, only about 7-8 yards from the corner flag. Bryan's actually retreated a few more yards nearer the edge of the penalty area as he works it in cleverly for Onuma. It took an awkward bounce. He's hoisted it high, just trying to put something forward for Mitrovic to attack against Woodman.
Yeah, well done, keeper. That's what you want. You want him to dominate there. He's done ever so well, because Mitrovic is quite formidable when he's coming at you, but the young fella got his hands way above Mitrovic and made it his.
Two players who will know each other. They were on the books at the same time at Newcastle, Woodman and Mitrovic. So maybe just that little bit of familiarity from training and takes a little bit of the sting out of the physical battle if you're playing up against someone you do know, even though you know what's coming.
You know he's coming, mate. That's the thing. So the young fella got there as early as he can, and that's what you should do. You take the ball at your highest point, not its highest point, because you might not get that. It might be 50 foot up in the air. So, but he's done ever so well. He attacked it well. Even then, Mitrovic, he's got that streak in him. He's brought his leg down on. Is that Grimes?
Yeah.
Deliberately down on Grimes there. God, he's a little, isn't he?
He's
feisty.
Feisty is a very good word. Yeah. He personifies it, but boy is he effective.
Don't you ever want your centre forward like that, though?
Oh, I know you're a fully paid up member of the fan club. I am as well. For everything, not just the mere numbers, which are, clearly hugely impressive. There's more to his game than that.
I think that's going out of the game. A little bit of physicality, a little bit of nastiness. You want your centre forward to go about and make the centre halves know that you're there, make their goalie a little bit worried, and that's what you want to do. But he certainly does it.
Van der Hoorn finds Norton, back out to the substitute Mackay on the left-hand side for Swansea, who trail by 2-0. But they have a free kick here, right on the edge of the penalty area. As Byers went down, this is, if anything, it's too close to the edge of the box. It's only about 1.5 yards outside the penalty area, and the angle is pretty prohibitive. It's out by the left-hand side of the penalty area as well. But is this the potential avenue of a way back into the game for Swansea City.
Could be. It's far enough left to be able to get a bit of whip on it. In other words, you start it outside the goal and you bend it in, and a bit of swaz, I would call it, from Bristol, mate. A little bit of swaz on it, a bit of Louis, whatever. Bend it from outside to in with a bit of dip. It's possible from here.
Well, Fulham aren't taking any chances, as you would expect. The 4 in the wall, 5 in the wall, just the 4.
4 in the wall.
And Cameron not too far away from the edge of it. One of them will be a runner.
He's got to shoot from here, surely. I didn't call you Shirley there, did I?
Only once.
Oh,
the wall did its job.
Well done.
Got in the way. Hoisted then back in by
McCarthy.
2 players going for it. It's in. Redact beaten, diving away to his left-hand side. George Byers is the man that takes the plaudits. 3 queuing up for it in the middle. Fulham just switched off as the second ball was worked back in. Redact got a strong left hand to it, couldn't keep it out. Swansea back in the game. Swansea 1, Fulham 2.
Well, that was really clever because Fulham had so many in the wall. The ball hit the wall, it went back to Mackay. What a brilliant ball in. And they were outnumbered on the far post. Keeper did everything to keep it out. We got a game on our hands now, Jimmy. It's exactly what we needed. What are they moaning about? Cavallero said something. He almost patted the referee on the head then. What was that about?
Don't know, but must admit, without having seen the replay, didn't see anything wrong with it. It didn't occur to me that it was a problem, but it is 2-1 now to Fulham. I think
they were saying it was offside, but I don't think so.
So the hosts back in the game.
Jim, it's a joy not having to worry about VAR and wondering what we're doing, Jim. Am I allowed to say that? Oh, I have.
Well, it was funny that you get used to now. You see a lot of Premier League football with a VAR in it. You get used to a delayed restart and all eyes on the referee, and it just felt as though the VAR were looking at something. It's, habits quickly become ingrained in us. Mitrovic can't get there. It's knocked away by Roberts at the back for Swansea. Surridge is beaten to it. Put out of play by Kearney.
Now we'll see what Fulham are made of, mate. They got their tails up now.
We'll see what Swansea's attacking endeavours are made of as well. The ball just in behind Surridge from the goal scorer Byers, and Mawson with that cultured left foot can get it away easily. Over the head of Mitrovic, it'll roll through for Woodman. Well, Swansea were top at the end of October when they beat Charlton. They've only won 2 of their 7 games since then, but a fight back against the side in the top 3 could completely reinvigorate their season. It's a big 25 minutes ahead. Not just in terms of this game, but also the psychological benefit that it could have on the ones to follow.
I'd like to give the manager a bit of credit. He made a substitution, and that boy's just made the goal. It's exactly what you want him to do.
Norton's ball in here. Headed away again by Bryan, but it's still inside the penalty area with Swansea. Not too far outside the box. Laid off by Roberts, who couldn't get on the end of Grimes' slightly misdirected return pass. Fulham clear the lines. Out of play for a Swansea throw.
What a positive effort, though. The left back's crossing it and the right back's in the box. Roberts in the box. So, we got a game on. Loving it.
Grimes back for Van der Horn. Swansea 1, Fulham 2. Midway through the second half here on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. As the ball is worked forward, Norton gave chase. The fullbacks have certainly been given instructions to take up more advanced positions now, as Steve Cooper sends them forward to try and get back into the game. They've halved the deficit, but can they cancel it out completely? Norton leaves it, ball through,
pass.
Fulton gets there as it breaks back to him off Ream, and still he goes. Blocked then by Mawson, cleared by Adoy. Camera able to pick it up outside his penalty area, tried to lay it back for a teammate and has given it away. Surridge to Ayew, did well to control it. Clearance from Bryan, Ayew goes down, edge of the penalty area, claimed he had his legs swept away from him, nothing given, and Fulham on the counter-attack and bring it forward here, but Cavallero couldn't find Onuma. And the chance that they had to set up a 3 against 2 temporarily very quickly disappeared.
Without a chance to see it again, I didn't think there was anything in that. He's thrown his arms in the air, but I didn't see anything wrong with that, to be fair. But great response from Swansea. A little 10 minutes where it looked like Fulham were going to dominate, but wow, what a game we've got now. Onuma bustling, bulldozing his way through. Cavallero can't find a way past. You see, at half-time the manager's done his job, because they had 5 around that, but he's solved the problem that they had in the first half. They're getting more numbers around where Fulham have got the ball, so well done to Coops.
Throw to be taken by Bryan. Into the feet of Onima. Back for Bryan again, who's clipped it over the head of Ayew and then run onto it himself. Now he'll try and get past Roberts. He might be able to do it. He's been able to guide it back for Onima. Picked up on the edge of the penalty area by Cavallero. Still Fulham on the front foot here, just outside the box. Cavallero dragging his feet over the top of it, is able to get it inside the area, but Van der Horn's there first ahead of Mitrovic to clear. Surridge, the only Swansea player upfield, cutting an isolated figure. They can't get out in support of him as he tries to hold it up, and Fulham will work it forward again. You're listening to Swansea against Fulham in the Championship on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. With Screwfix's Ticket Tuesdays, enter the draw every Tuesday between 8 and 6 to win tickets to see your local EFL team. Visit EFL.com/Screwfix competitions, and T's and C's apply. 20 minutes to go, Ollie. Swansea 1, Fulham 2.
Oh, it's brilliant. Honestly, it's a knife edge. Again, I feel a little bit like the start of the game. I'm not sure which way it's going to go. We've definitely... Fulham have been knocked a little bit, knocked their confidence a little bit. And Swansea have been very, very good this last 10-15 minutes.
Well, Swansea have won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two, the exception being a 3-0 home defeat on the last day of the 2012-13 season. But the last time that the two sides met here, they won 2-0 with John Joe Shelby scoring 1 and Dimitar Berbatov putting through his own net for the other. 2-0 on that occasion. It's 2-1 to Fulham tonight. Both sides are going to make changes in a moment. Swansea though on the front foot with Roberts, and Bryan denies him the opportunity to put in a cross, puts it instead out of play for a corner.
Joe's having a right go at Kearney there. They got a little bit sloppy. You know, it looks to me like they got 2-0 up, thought they were going to win again. You know, you can get like that, but wow, what a response. Brilliant bit of play from Surridge. Again, a great flick round the corner. Great awareness for such a young man.
Neither substitution has been made at this juncture. The corner will be taken first. Grimes putting his foot through it, swinging inside the area. Byers through a crowd of players. It's blocked. Ayew stayed down inside the penalty area, and Fulham are able to clear, and Radak urges his defenders to push out. Ayew back on his feet. Back it comes from Swansea again. Grimes round the corner. Van der Horn. Surridge for a deflection, and somehow it ends up getting spooned away for another corner.
Fulham are all at 6s and 7s. Brilliant play. Absolutely brilliant play. Great substitution by the manager. He's pushed his full-backs in. They're having a right go, and I could see an equaliser coming if Fulham aren't careful.
2-1 Fulham lead. Grimes in towards Surridge, and
Keeper again, brilliant punch.
Good strong hands to get it away. Mitrovic is down injured inside his own penalty area, holding his head. He's playing everybody onside if Fulham lose possession here. Johansson though turning and getting away, unable to bring it forward. There's a challenge off the ball before Onima is flagged offside. It was Roberts on this near touch line.
He's levered him, mate. He definitely they're saying he's rolling around, but I tell you, he caught him there. He was very lucky into the higher level.
I don't think the fourth official near side, Alan Young, could have seen that.
No, they're too busy getting a substitute ready, aren't they? He was lucky there. Wow.
Having done it, Roberts then made sure he was nowhere near a potential inquest. Swansea will make a change. Tom Carroll, who hasn't seen too much action this season because of injuries, not played for 6 weeks, but he'll be on in a moment. Kevin McDonald's going to come on for Fulham. But obviously they just want to make sure, Fulham, that both Camara and Mitrovic are okay and able to continue before just finalising and formalising the changes that are going to be made. Mitrovic is okay, he's back on his feet. He's making his way off. Camara's also back on his feet. Camara, though, is the player who's coming off, and McDonald will replace him.
I'm glad they're bringing him off because he just lost it there. He knows he's got stepped on or stamped on, and he's a little bit feisty as well, to be fair. Didn't they have a little bit of a punch-up before on the training ground, him and Mitrovic? I think it was a couple of years ago they had a little bit of a fisticuffs.
You're a brave man who takes on Mitrovic.
Well, or Camera, look at him, mate. You get them shoulders. Be proud of them, Jim.
Well, he's off, and McDonald is on to replace him.
Oh, great footballer he is.
The Swansea changes Carroll for Fulton, so that's a straight swap in the midfield. Yeah, Kevin McDonald's not seen much action either. He's only played 23 minutes of league football since the opening day of the season, but gets a quarter of an hour or so tonight. 2-1 Fulham lead, but Swansea knocking on the door. Have had the majority of chances tonight. Force Radak into some good saves, and here they come again with Mackay trying to find a way inside the box, but the former Forest man's easily thwarted.
He's a little live wire, isn't he?
He's looked sharp.
He's on it again. Oh, great ball.
Into Surridge's feet. And then two Swansea players tackle each other. Surridge was just preparing to get his right foot round it to shoot, and Byers tried the shot himself. The ball rolled away from the pair of them, and Byers took his teammate out.
I think he kicked him in the shin there, mate. Dearie me.
Neither was happy. The ball ends up back in a deeper position in the midfield. Swansea have it 10 yards outside their own penalty area, trailing 2-1, but the intensity and volume of the home support suggests that they believe now that they can get back into this game. Hughes lost out in the midfield though. Cavallero forward for Mitrovic. Mitrovic turning into trouble as well. Wilmot did well to deal with him. Ayew will play it forward and has it now inside the centre circle. So we go into the final 15 minutes, and Ayew waving players up in support for him. It was Roberts that made the run to his right hand side. Tom Carroll on the overlap for him. The pass has asked a lot of him. He will be able to keep it in down by the corner flag, and then fires it in quickly into Bryan, and out of play for a throw right down by that corner flag on the Swansea right. And then throw taken quickly in towards Ayew. McDonald read it, puts it out of play for another corner.
Great response from Swansea. Fantastic. It's a shame. I love Carroll. I think he's a really good player. It's nice to see him fit again and back out there. He did ever so well. That was put a little bit much on it, Roberts. But here we go. In swinger, left-footed, corner.
Very congested 6-yard boxes into that area. Radak couldn't come out. Fulham win the first ball, and then Kearney wins the second and whacks it upfield. Fulham now can push out well outside their own penalty area, but Swansea have the ball in a deeper area with Roberts finding Grimes. And Grimes just works it back for Roberts again, forward into the centre circle. Carroll linking up the play very neatly. Former Spurs man. They're playing it down towards Ayew.
They switch it, it's on.
And Grimes has seen it, and he's gone for the long ball over the top. Mackay scampers after it, but can't keep it in.
Unlucky. It was on. Yeah, they're doing ever so well. Really, Fulham are looking at each other and gesticulating. That's a great response. That's all you want from your team. If you look back at it now, how important are those saves from the goalkeeper? But this is the Championship. This is how tough it is. It's so close. It's so hard fought, and to get over that line to get 3 points, it's not easy.
Throw taken down the right-hand touchline by Dennis Adoy for Fulham, who are 13 minutes plus stoppage time away from the 3 points that will take them 3 clear of Forest, and within 2 of Leeds and 4 of leaders West Brom, albeit that those two have games in hand, of course, over the course of the weekend. Wilmot back to his England under-21 international teammate Woodman.
Did you hear that? They're educated down here. They said, come on, build again. Most fans will be saying, get it forward. They're saying, build again. They've been spoilt for years, haven't they? I love the identity of Swansea and how they try and play. Martinez years ago, Kenny Jackett did well for him, then Martinez came in, and wow, how they improve players over the years. It has been exceptional.
Rodgers and Laudrup and Potter and managers that have wanted to play a certain way, and Steve Cooper, very much the next cab off the rank in terms of that kind of style, and they'll bring it forward again with Roberts, but he just ran out of room, and Bryan did well, went shoulder to shoulder with him and eased him over the line. Should have been a free kick according to the Welsh fullback, who was berated the assistant referee. Has a go at Bryan. Water off a duck's back for him. There will be a goal kick to restart play, but only after Fulham have made another change, and it's a defensive one. Olimer coming off, and Cyrus Christie is the player who's going to come on to replace him.
Is he going right back?
Well, you would imagine so, wouldn't you? He's only made one league start this season, or one start this season, should I say, which came in the League Cup. Or are they going to go three at the back?
Yeah, they are, yeah.
So Adoy playing on the right of three centre-halves now. Mawson in the middle, Ream on the left. Christie as right wing-back, and Joe Bryan on the left. So a back five for Fulham. 5-3-2 for the closing stages of the game in front of just a shade over 16,000 at the Liberty Stadium tonight. Free kick to Swansea, and taken quickly and short on the edge of their own penalty area as they try and get back into this game. Swansea 1, Fulham 2. Ball down the line, chased after by the sprightly Mackay, and put out of play by Adoy, who shuffled across in behind Christie to put it out for a throw, which will be taken on the Swansea left-hand side with 10 and a bit to go. 2-1 Fulham leading. Swansea getting the bodies forward. Surridge stands on the edge of the 6-yard box. Ayu's in there as well. Decent header away from Adoy from a long throw, which was worked in, and then a loose pass from Kyle Norton. Didn't find his man. Fulham clear, but not too far, and Swansea will build again. It's certainly, in terms of possession, last 15-20 minutes or so has been easily their best period of the game. We can't accuse Fulham of trying to sit on the lead per se, albeit that they've just brought on a defender for a midfielder. But here's Ayew for Swansea once more, trying to make something happen. Byers lets it run. Outside him is Carroll, who feints to cross, plays it in towards Byers. The cry of man on was heeded by the young man. Left-footed effort from Carroll was optimistic, and he's angled it over the top left-hand corner. Well, that could wave it on its way. Out of play for a goal kick. And I think Fulham's final change is imminent with 8 minutes to go. The paperwork just going into the fourth official, Alan Young. They've still got Cabano, Knockaert, O'Reilly and De La Torre, the players who could come on, but it will be Knockaert, as you say, who's going to get the opportunity for a little 10-minute cameo here, with Fulham leading by 2-1.
I love him, he's absolutely brilliant. He got some spice and a little bit of fire in his belly.
Johansson did really well there, blocked a clearance, slid in, then got back on his feet to regain possession and get the better of Roberts. Mitrovic back for Bryan. Bryan with a little reverse ball. Kearney's onside, cuts it back onto his right foot, lays it off. Mitrovic can't turn into the area. The white shirts were there and able to get it away.
Little Mackay did ever so well there. They won it back now.
Back it will come again from McDonald, trying to be a calming influence in the heart of midfield. Knockaert's going to be coming off at Cavallero, incidentally. That's the change that will be made with 8 minutes to go. Fulham leading by 2-1 here on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. And don't forget, following us, the Sports Bar, Adam Catterall and Mickey Gray in the northern edition of the Sports Bar tonight on TalkSport from 10.
Do they do that from Mickey's house?
Probably Adam's house, I would imagine. Or the west wing of Mickey's. I don't know. I don't know which one it is tonight. The ball could be the east.
Could be the east.
The ball on the left-hand side for Swansea with 8 to go. 2-1 Fulham lead. And can they maintain this scoreline? Get a fourth successive win. And Swansea doing everything but equalise at the moment. Another high ball inside the air, flicked on. Surridge trying to battle in there. Swansea players and fans alike claiming that they saw an arm, but the referee says no handball, and Radak will be allowed to continue with the ball in his hand. He's in no hurry, gets back to his feet now, but will restart play in a moment. So Knockaert's going to be coming on at the next break in play, and Boya Baston will be coming on for Swansea, and that will be their final change as well.
The last roll of the dice, Jim. I think Fulham will go 5-4-1. Put Knockaert on the left or the right.
All about solidity this stage of the game for them. Norton, Grimes puts his head down and really hits through the top of the ball to try and lay it out towards the right hand side for Roberts. Bryan is in there to slide it out of play.
He's got a wonderful range of passing, hasn't he, Grimes?
A player who came through the academy at his hometown club, Exeter City, before making the move here. They've had some good players come through there in the recent past, the likes of Ampadu as well. Now the changes will be made, and first of all it's going to be Borja Baston who will come on, and he will replace Surridge, and a good round of applause for the young man.
Yeah, quite understandably. That's the first time I've seen him. What a lovely footballer. He's going to have a career. A good one as well. Lovely touch.
Swansea in an attacking position with this throw, so the Fulham change will wait. The ball thrown inside the penalty area, helped on by Ayew, brought down by Carroll, into the feet of Byers, back for Carroll again, scooped over the top. Mackay knew he was offside, couldn't go for it. Fulham try and clear, Christie can't get it away. Ease back in, Ayew, very difficult chance under pressure, leaning back, had to generate the power and try and keep it down, so no chance of getting that on target. It's gone out of play over the bar, out for a goal kick, and Fulham will now make their change, and Cavallero will come off and Knockaert's on.
Yep, Knockaert's coming on. Is it Knockaert or Knockaert? I don't know. What do you think?
I reckon it's Knockaert.
Anthony Knockaert. I love this fella. He don't like it if he's not playing. He don't like it if he gets brought off, but wow, he could turn the game on its head. Had a great time at Brighton, and he's moved on to Fulham. Well, actually, I'm wrong. He's gone straight up there with Mitrovic.
Some player to be able to bring off the bench at this stage of the game in a championship match. It shows the depth of the Fulham squad. Mitrovic clearly pushed to the ground there by Wilmot. Maybe milking it a little as he goes down, but another example of match management here as the game ticks into the final 5 minutes. He'll be all right.
Of course he's all right.
He picks himself up and makes his way forward.
How many times do you see Harry Kane get fouls like that? Do you know what I mean? That's what number 9s are all about, mate.
So the free kick will be taken by Johansson, hoisted high. Mitrovic chases, easily claimed by Woodman, and Mitrovic just barged into him. Play goes on. Woodman did well, kept his eye on the task in hand, and the ball in hand as well. Here they come again with Roberts working it forward, cut out very quickly by McDonald, put out for a throw which will be taken on the Swansea right. 4 to go. Swansea 1, Fulham 2. And Swansea staring down the barrel of a 5th home defeat in 7 games. They won't have won in 4 unless there's a dramatic late turnaround. The last time they went 4 without a win in the championship was over 9.5 years ago under Paulo Sousa. But they're in danger of getting there now. It's going to be a dramatic end to an absorbing game if Swansea can turn nothing into 3 points from here. 3.5 to go plus stoppage time. A free kick to Fulham inside their own half, which Brian will take, and he just points that he's going to hoist it forward. Mitrovic, the inevitable target, and just came between 2 Swansea players and was able to bring it down and get it away. Back from Johansson. McDonald, that's an excellent first time ball. Just let the ball roll across his right foot and then flick it out towards the far side for Christie. Back it comes through the midfield again. Kearney trying to take the ball on the half turn and get it away from Carroll, but Swansea have it back. Worked out towards Norton, who tried to turn it onto his favoured right foot and whack it forward. Looked for Borja Baston, couldn't find him. Blocked and out of play for a throw. Should be taken by Norton on halfway. 2-1 Fulham lead with 3 to go. And it's out of play past Norton again for another throw.
I think the changes have helped Fulham calm it down a little bit. They've took the sting out of Swansea at the moment. Swansea need to do something, and Fulham seem to know that.
Mawson comes to meet a 50-50 ball and was able to just get it away. In terms of possession in the second half, Swansea have actually had more of the ball than Fulham. It's a close run thing, but consider it was 60-40 in Fulham's favour in the first half. That's been some turnaround. Mitrovic and Woodman again getting involved, and Swansea players thought that Mitrovic had fouled him. Play goes on. Fulham have worked it down towards the left-hand touchline for Knockaert, and it's knocked away by Wilmot. Bouncing ball in the midfield, taken on by Ayew, brought down neatly by Johansson. I think Ayew just caught him on the top of the foot. Play goes on, and it's worked intelligently through the midfield again by Carroll. Carroll out towards Ayew. Now Ayew towards the edge of the penalty area, trying to bustle his way through past Joe Bryan, who just stood his ground. Knockaert brings it away, finds Johansson, and it's all neat football at close quarters until Kearney misses Knockaert with the pass. The Frenchman not where he's expecting him to be, and he goes straight out of play for a throw.
I think that's Kearney's first misplaced pass all evening.
He has been excellent. There have been a number of outstanding performers on the Fulham side, and some Swansea players have done their reputations the world of good as well, albeit seemingly at the moment in defeat. 2-1 to Fulham with just over a minute plus stoppage. Was his right foot that was caught, and we'll go into stoppage time in a moment with Johansson receiving treatment inside his own penalty area. They've made all 3 changes. He's going to have to labour on if he can.
Yep, it's the last thing you want to see if you're Scott Parker. He certainly won't think the game's won yet, and you've used all your subs, and something like that happens. Looked innocuous challenge. It's just one of them where Johansson went to play it, and the follow through from him kicking it as he's got caught. So 5 minutes, Jim, extra time.
Well, they had 4 ready on the board. You know how the 4th official almost always with a nervous twitch just keeps making sure that the bulb is working. And
he took so long to get 4 on there. He's actually had to add a 5th. Come on, mate.
5 minutes, which will restart, or which will start, should I say, with this drop ball, uncontested drop ball these days, of course, inside the penalty area for Radak. And Borja Baston is just making his way forward, but of course the law change means that he's not in a position to contest it. He's just there to stop Radak taking too many liberties and letting the ball stand at his feet before he picked it up to restart play.
An interesting one, Jim. I would, if we had to pick a man in a match and we both had to pick one, mine be the fella in green there.
He was certainly instrumental. If Fulham go on to win it with that extraordinary save from Surridge, which defined the first half really. That was a brilliant stop at 0-0, and then he's made another couple of, if that was a 10 out of 10 save, he's made another couple of 9.5s at other points in the game as well. Still, Swansea believe that they can get something out of it. They trail 2-1 in stoppage time. Ball worked round the corner by Byers. 15 outside the penalty area. Bryan sweeps it away, only as far as Tom Carroll. Great vision and a wonderful execution of a pass to pick out Mackay. High up and under from Mackay. Ayu's in there to attack it. Fulham win the first header, and then Knockaert wins the second touch to get it away. Mitrovic does well to hold it up. Knockaert works it down the line. Mitrovic finding a fresh injection of enthusiasm and tempo, can take it down towards the corner flag, holding it up, doing so well. Brilliant. Making life difficult. That's great striking play, but although it ends up being a goal kick to Swansea's, run 20-30 seconds off the clock there. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's definitely out of him and the goalkeeper. Who are you going for, Jim? No, I go for the goalkeeper. Always favour a goalkeeper. But a number of players have done really well. We talked about Johansson and Kearney at length, and Grimes has also had an excellent game for Swansea. Mackay's done well since coming on, hasn't he? Yeah. Doy. Ayu's done well as well, I feel. And that's good defending from Dennis Doy. Shepherds it over the line under duress from Carroll. Over the line and out of play for a goal kick which Radak will take. Swansea 1, Fulham 2, 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. Yeah, there's always one more chance, Jim. Whether they're going to get it or not, we don't know. Good management, I think, on both counts. Coops made a change, needed it and did well. That's made a big difference. And Scotty now has changed shape. 5-4-1, leading. Have we got a final twist in this tale, or is the fat lady singing, Jim? Well, here's Mitrovic, hoping that the twist in the tail is just the extension of the lead and the match ball for him. He's set it up for Knockaert here. We're in the 94th minute. And Knockaert, just with the quick feet, wins the throw. That was magic. How did he do that? Oh, that's what people pay money to see. How did he get out of that little dibbly-doo?
dibbly-do bit. He did a little dibbly-do where he got one foot to the other and dragged it with his left foot. Oh, well. Brilliant.
It was the foot equivalent of that little trick that when they've got the ping pong ball under the 3 cups and they move their hands very quickly.
That's it, mate.
Absolutely brilliant. He's won a throw, he's won another throw now. And time is running off the clock very quickly. And the Fulham fans away at that end of the ground, the northern end of the Liberty Stadium, just trying to serenade their side onto glory here. It's out of play, it's a goal kick, a minute to go, taken quickly by Woodman. Can Swansea create this one final opportunity and get a share of the spoils that they will believe that they deserve? Certainly in terms of shots, 18-10 in their favour. Can they find the 19th? Ball inside the area with too much pace. Van der Horn had sprinted forward, couldn't get there. It was a really poor delivery from a great position for Mackay, and that probably is the last chance of the night.
That was the one. I thought that was the chance that I've been talking about, and he overhit it. Great ball from Grimes again. Put him clean in. I don't know what Christie was thinking. He should have marked him, but dearie me. Probably the worst cross he's ever played, unfortunately.
Well, Radak is
showing his time, isn't he?
Showing a capability to test the patience of the referee. He's had a warning. He'll carry on waiting, and now smites it forward over halfway. 5 minutes have been played. Here's Knockaert again on the left-hand side. The ball in Swansea territory. Fulham can keep it there for the next 20 seconds or so. They've won, and they have a throw, and that should see them over the line.
Game over.
A throw which Johansson will leave for Knockaert, doing everything they can just to run a few seconds down, but I'd want my team to do exactly the same. Knockaert dries the ball on his shirt, throws it down towards the corner flag. Mitrovic has given away a free kick. Still time, according to the referee. We've played 5 minutes 40 now.
That's got to be it.
Out it goes to the left-hand side. Here's one more opportunity potentially. Mackay sprinting forward. He's got 3 in the middle, including Van der Horn, but he can't find a way through.
He's given
a free kick, though, to Swansea. Over on that far touchline, there's no time to take it. It's a big win for Fulham. Another top 6 scalp. It's their 4th successive victory. They're building up momentum at a crucial time of the season. They mean business. For Swansea, 4 without a win. First time in the Championship that's happened in the thick end of 10 years since the days of Paulo Sousa. But it's the travelling London supporter away to our left-hand side, delighting in those 2 first-half goals from Alexander Mitrovic. And Mitrovic at one end, Radak at the other, have sealed another big 3 points for Fulham. It's finished. Swansea City 1, Fulham 2.